And now it's time for the official passing of the gavel to the 19th Central Area Director, who was elected on Thursday morning and who was inducted this morning. My friend, my sister, Glenda Masingale Manson. Help me welcome her.
Alice has a number of friends that she has known for years, and they sort of flaunt that relationship to those of us that do not have that longevity, and they call her Dell, right? So I always sort of felt left out until this last plenary, and I said, they might call you Dell, but I'm calling you Silk. Wasn't that the smoothest session we've ever had? So from now on, she will be Silk to me. My link sisters, connecting links, arrow links, and invited guests. Tonight I stand before you with great joy in my heart, a distinct joy that comes from the love, support, and gratitude one could only feel after receiving a vote of confidence from all 68 chapters in the Miami Central area. This morning, in our last plenary session, our National Director of Mental Health stated that we should all work to be members in chapters that are a haven of love, support, and safety. Your chapter should be that place where you work hard, play harder, are absolutely authentic, and that has your growth and best interest at heart at all times. I am proud to say that I belong to a chapter of that status. Now, they're not expecting this. Those are my ride and die link sisters. With the members of my chapter, Central Illinois, please join me up front. If I look at they're gasping. Yes. Come on. I know. Hey, Juanita, let's go. I'd like you to stand up here on the second dais. I know this isn't protocol. No one was expecting it, but I like to take this personal point of privilege.
You're the area director.
All right, now. Johnine Adams, Dr. Mona Davenport, Angela Blair, Carol Burrell, Tammy Chu, Dr. Elaine Hardy, Cheryl Fluker, Dawn Harris Jeffries, Jennifer Hawkins, Dr. Jocelyn Hazelwood, Wanda Holloway, Attorney Cheryl Jackson, Paulette Jackson, Beverly Reed, Princess Scott, Melissa Schrader, Juanita Smith, Dr. Krista Spates Bell, Renee Thompson Fletcher, my president. Please give them a hand for me. Oh no, you're gonna have to stand here, so don't even try it. These links who have joined me on the dais represent corporate America, the medical and legal profession, the arts, education, business owners, and long-term community activism. These are the women of strength, vision, and grace that provide me a foundation and a haven of love and support. They embody the true meaning of friendship. I thank each of you for your support. I stand here tonight because you have been standing with me the whole time. Thank you very much. Wonderful, Didn't know, did you? I also like to acknowledge a few others before I get into my remarks. My sponsor, Tracy Bird Mitchell, who is in the Easton area, is 15 years my junior. And when I told her that I was running, and I called her tonight and told yesterday and told her I won, she said, and I quote, "You do you, boo." So if any of you know my sponsor, tell her that I did me tonight, okay? Janice Granberry Livingston, who is a CIC charter member and trusted advisor. Gladys Gary Vaughn, the 13th National President, that challenged me to do more, learn more, and understand the long view of this organization. Mary Clark, the past interim executive director, who continues to provide her arms of support across the miles. Kathy Towle Littleton and Patricia Larkin Hicks, the first members of the Central Area team that saw a spark in me and fostered its light. The Caldwell sisters, Terry Caldwell Johnson and the late Toy Caldwell Colbert, who from the beginning of my journey never failed to include me in the acumen of being a link. Dolores Henderson, that was my first area director. My chapter was not always in the state of esprit de corps as we are now. Yes, we had what I fondly called a Links terrorist in the group, and I know some of you have experienced that. And Link Dolores came to our rescue, and she always supported and encouraged me with feedback and support and shared in my happiness and successes. My girl, are you listening to me, sisters? That would be Link Charlotte Polk and my dear, dear Charlene Turner. They took me under their wings, and at times it felt like a headlock. But I listened and I learned. Ida Wolford and Dr. Kay Royster, who continue to say, "We got you." Link Janine Quick Frazier, who gave me my first area job as fundraiser, trusted me to do it, and because of her belief in me, I exceeded my own expectations. Past national presidents Gwendolyn Lee and Margaret James Copeland. Lee Gwen referred me to do my first membership workshop after I was elected the Central Area Vice Director, and has remained a consummate teacher to me. Link Margot was the first link on the national level, really on any level, who recognized that I really do have a sense of humor. Quirky as it may be, I do have a sense of humor. And she became one of my first Facebook friends. To our 16th National President, Glenda Newell Harris, who wants us all to stay healthy and stay around to do the work of the links. She has been a teacher of graciousness by giving and taking constructive feedback and embracing it for the change. Alma Dodd, past National Program Director, who said, "When you believe in something, just keep pitching it until you get the clarity and understanding that you need. Your belief is contagious." I'd like to thank my protocol person, who was so kind to me on several visits to Cincinnati, and that would be Gail King Gibson. You saw her with me. I couldn't turn around, but I was so glad she was there. What you don't know about Link Gail is she was the second African American full partner in a law firm in the Cincinnati area. She has a servant's heart, and I appreciate you so much, Link Gail. I know you somewhere because you told my husband I'm over here and look that direction, so thank you very much. Darrell Davis, president of River City, and Karen Mines Williamson, the immediate past president of North Shore, my little sisters who were behind me before I knew I needed them behind me, and from the beginning. Have you ever seen someone from a distance and they were so straight and no chaser, you said, "Well, I'll never be their friends"? Well, I was wrong. Jane Bacchus Khalifa became the big sister I didn't know I needed. One thing I learned is when you are traveling with a no doubt about it link, that linkly link, t-shirts and socks are not permissible as sleeping attire. I was the one, just in case you didn't get that had the t-shirt. She is really a warm fuzzy pretending to be a cold prickly. Margaret Bell Davis, the past president of my beloved Orange County chapter, Delta Sigma Theta, and now one of my newest Link sisters, who preached, she's now one of my newest Link sisters, and she preached a circle of love is never ending, and you should never be one to break that circle. My Orange County family of Helen and Fred Forbes, Nancy Justice, and Carolyn Avellino, just sending them air kisses because I know they're here about it. And Dr. Zola Big Z Boom. That was my nickname that I gave her. Not everybody can call her that. She was a pillar of strength that when my mother transitioned, she walked in and has never walked out. I would also like to thank two members of the Central Area Executive Team under Link Alice, who had the class and graciousness to think about the well-being of the area, and that would be my roomie, Kathy Wade, and our area secretary, Sharon Gentry. Please. My brother and sister from other mothers, Charles and Angela Britt, who came to join me here from Arlington, Texas. I appreciate your continuing love and support. Angela is my real big sister, and I say that because our mothers were best friends in high school, in college. They pledged together. They had the same number of children. They married wonderful husbands. She bought silver dollars to my crib. She was my first visitor, and she's been in my life ever since. With all the strange things I do, when I decide to tell people I'm 20 years older than I am, or 20 years younger than I am, she never lets on, but she knows the truth. Thank you very much. And last, but certainly in no way least, I would like to thank my connecting link, my husband, who acts as a sounding board, confidant, stylist, chef, life coach, and chauffeur par excellence. My connecting link, Brent Manson, has given himself another name. He calls himself Hulk and says he's driving Miss Glenda. This is a true story. So I would say, Hulk, we have to go to Des Moines. Yes, Hulk, we have to go to Memphis. Yes, Hulk, we have to go back to Cincinnati, then Chicago, on to Maryville, and back to Cincinnati. Yes, Hulk, I cannot get a good fare to Nashville. We have to drive to Nashville. No, ma'am, don't. I'm not driving to Nashville. But I have to be there, and the planes are running late, and it's going to cost the area too much. Now, Miss Glenda, I'm a grown man. And I know when I'm not driving to Nashville. Let me add that I'm confident in his ability to support me as I serve links because he learned from one of the best connecting links ever, my father, Obi Masingale, that to be a good connecting link is about carrying boxes and moving furniture. And just do what any link tells you to do. It's easier that way. Brent, would you please stand up? That's all true. My journey into LinkedIn officially began 19 years ago, and unofficially as an AeroLink. For you see, my mother, Dr. Eula Davis Masingale, was a proud member and past president of the Baton Rouge, Louisiana Links chapter, home chapter of the 7th National President, Dr. Julia Brogdon Purnell. She came from a family of women who genuinely cared about their community and worked tirelessly to improve the quality of people's lives. I was fortunate to grow up watching my mother dedicate her time to working in her chapter, making phone calls, attending meetings, raising money, organizing, and carrying out activities for the betterment of our community. The time she invested in me and my sister, exposing us to links and other functions, and always making sure we were on point. In fact, the gloves that I have with me tonight are the ones she bought me when I made my debut to society just a few years ago. Through her example, she instilled in me a commitment to friendship and service. As I matured and left home, ultimately settling in Southern California, my mother's involvement in her chapter continued, and the seeds of friendship and service she planted also grew as I came to appreciate links more and more. Well, fast forward to the 90s when I moved to Bloomington, Illinois from Southern California, and who also decided to move to Bloomington? That's right, my mother and father. And now the full court press was on for me to join her in LinkedIn. I resisted, because sometimes, even as an adult, you just don't want to be told what to do by your mother. But no matter what excuse I gave, she quickly dismissed it. She kept being a positive example until finally I realized what a privilege it would be to serve with a group of highly accomplished and dedicated women who are active in our community. So in 1996, it was my pleasure to accept the invitation to join the Central Illinois chapter of the Links Incorporated. And with my mother at my side and our past president, the late Toy Caldwell Colbert, as my president, I joined the golden chain of friendship. I became a link. It's a decision that I've never regretted, and I'm so happy I did, because it enabled me to work alongside my mother as a sister link and create memories that I cherish so deeply now that she's gone. I certainly can say that 19 years ago when I became a link, I never thought or even dreamed I would be standing here before you as the 19th Central Area Director, but somehow I know that my mother did. Because as only mothers can, she saw things I could contribute that I couldn't see myself. And she knew something that I'm sure I knew, but had not yet applied to this situation, and that's the power of one. For you see, the power of one individual to make everlasting change is a concept that is often overlooked on so many levels, and it's the power of one that I'm asking all of us to embrace. As I pledge to use it as a guiding principle to leave the Central area. So what will that look like? I'll embrace the power of one by fostering an environment that is inclusive, collaborative, and creative. An inclusive environment is a foundation ingredient to embracing the power of one. And by inclusive, I mean making sure all Link Sisters' voices are heard. Ideas are valued, and suggestions are considered. And as we heard in a message from our national president, being inclusive also means including our families in our efforts. AeroLinks and our biggest supporters, our connecting links, because it is their support that completes our circle and pushes us forward on the path to change. When everyone is included, it leaves little time to complain, and efforts can focus on positive results. The synergy of our collective cohesive voices can transcend distractions from our golden chain of friendship and service and enhance our ability to deliver quality programs. Because, after all, isn't that why we're all here? Being inclusive sets the foundation for the next important element, which is collaboration. A collaborative environment is equally as important to embracing the power of one, because when everyone is included and brings their best ideas, collaboration can thrive. An example of that collaboration was the VP Chats that I started hosting in 2012 in support of Link Alice. It was a conference call established to enhance the collaboration between area chapters and serve as an additional point of communication contact to our members. Vice presidents came together to share and receive information about what's going on in their chapters, and in addition to promoting support for their events, they were able to learn from each other and take suggestions back to their chapter to enhance programs. In just 3 years, the Central Area VPs have spent 69,863 minutes, trust me, 69,863 minutes collaborating on those conference calls. With that level of participation, I think it's safe to say that the VP Chats were a success. This is just one of the many examples of how leveraging the power of everyone, we can problem solve quickly and provide dynamic programming for our communities, our chapters, our area, and our nation. The last important ingredient necessary to embrace the power of one is a creative environment. As individuals, we all dream, create a vision, and make plans. If we foster an environment where all Link sisters are included and encouraged to collaborate, we can maximize everyone's creativity for the benefit of the organization and, more importantly, for the communities we serve. In an environment that inclusive, collaborative, and creative, we can support each other's dreams of creating success and well-being for every man, woman, and child of African descent in our local and global villages, and leave an inheritance for those villagers that are yet unborn. All of our area chapters have supported ideas created by one Link sister and nurtured those ideas into national programs. For example, this week we heard from the Queen City chapter in Wisconsin, South Suburban in Illinois, the Greater Kansas City, Kansas chapter, River City, Tennessee, Queens City, Ohio, Archway, Missouri, Lansing, East Lansing, Michigan, and Little Rock, Arkansas. These are just a few of the recent program winners, and I know there are many more to come. One of my favorite quotes reads, "The power of one is fearless and focused and formidable, but the power of many working together is better." I'd like to see us embrace the power of one and work together to build on our legacy and create something bigger and better. We're fortunate to have a history of strong leadership. Our past area directors have given us a tremendous legacy that we are responsible for guarding and growing. I was privileged to attend a fabulous luncheon in the Minneapolis-St. Paul chapter. I think it was called the Emerald Luncheon. And the president there, Tawana, gave a wonderful rendition of "I Call Your Name." And we call each other's name in remembrance, in reverence, and also to keep their dreams and visions alive. And so I like to call the names of the outstanding past Central Area directors upon whose shoulders I stand. Portia Searcy, Chicago; Blanche Sinkler, St. Louis; Beth Simpson, Indianapolis; Vivian Beeman, Cincinnati, who was also the 4th national president; Lillian Mosey, St. Louis; Laura Jones, Dayton; Evelyn Harper, Topeka; Willie Glanton, Des Moines; Marjorie Mims, Chicago; Marion Sweeney, Dayton; Dolores Henderson, Minneapolis, St. Paul; Margot James Copeland, the Cleveland, Ohio chapter; Janine Quick Frazier from Columbus; Terry Caldwell Johnson, Des Moines; and our own Silk from Oklahoma City. I, I call your names and I thank you. Embracing the power of one and working together, we can build on our Link's legacy to transcend the boundaries of traditional ideas, rules, and patterns to create new ideas, methods, and survival techniques for every man, woman, and child of the African diaspora. Embracing the power of one, we can keep our beloved organization progressive and relevant, forging a new footprint and path for others to follow. My Link sisters, the power of one teaches each one of us has the power to make a difference, and without each of you, there is no chain. The power of us linked together in a chain for a common cause creates a circle of never-ending energy, support, and change. You can make that difference. You can plant that seed. You can be that one who makes it all come together, because the power of one is in each and every one of us. And when we link all of that power together, we can achieve the realization of making the name Links not only a chain of friendship, but also a mighty chain of purposeful service. My Link sisters, we know what we have to do, and we know the spirit in what we're going to do it. So I'll close with this. Let's go to work.